Está a punto de empezar. A ver qué tal. Ah, pues, directo a la tralla. Me gusta. Joder, qué susto, tú. Quantum Error. Vale. Exclusivo de PlayStation 5, me ha parecido entender, ¿no?
Hello and welcome to the Future Games Show. What a way to start, right? I am Nolan North, and many of you may know me as your ghost from Destiny, or perhaps Dr. Edward Richtofen from the Call of Duty series, or even, the Penguin from the Arkham series.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Nolan, we get it. We get it. You've done a million, hundred gazillion games. We got it.
Right. Of course, most of you know me as Nathan Drake from Uncharted.
Son los dobladores de Nathan Drake de Uncharted y de la chica de Uncharted, que no sé cómo se llama.
Happy to be working alongside her again as we host this showcase of upcoming games. Please give it up and welcome the lovely and talented Miss Emily Rose.
Hey, Nolan. Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome from my home to yours. I'm really excited about what we have in store for you today. As PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X draw near, we're going to be talking to leading game developers to see what we really can expect from the future of games.
Plus, we have a host of exclusive game reveals, world premieres, new gameplay demos from current and next-gen consoles. And some of these are so secret, even I haven't been told about them yet.
Wait, they didn't tell you about them?
What, they told you?
No, like they really didn't tell you about them?
People are playing favorites.
Because I mean, I have the whole list right in front of me, right there.
Whatever, send them to me. And let's get into the good stuff.
Okay, so the next title is from Red Thread Games. They're this little indie studio in Norway. I love Norway. You might know them from their Choice and Consequence series, Dreamfall chapters. So get ready for the world exclusive premiere of their new project.
Venga, World Exclusive Premiere, venga de fucking go.
World premiere.
No pinta mal. Recuerda ciertos tintes de Borderlands, ¿verdad? Hombre, a ver, el autobús y el estilo artístico. A ver, ¿de qué va? ¿En serio? ¿No van a mostrar gameplay? Ok, vale. ¿En serio? ¿En serio? Nada de... Nada de gameplay. Trailer y a tomar por culo. Ah, no. Vale.
Hey, my name is Ragnar Tornquist. I'm creative director at Red Thread Games.
Se llama Ragnar.
Dustborn.
Este tío no puede hacer cosas mal.
Dustborn is a story-driven action-adventure about a band of misfits and outcasts.
Story-driven action-adventure.
It's a game about hope, friendship, love, robots, and the power of words. So in this footage, you're watching our main character, Pax, explore a small commune in the Pacific Northwest. She's come here with her crew to recruit her sister, but it turns out her sister's not interested in joining the crew. So your job is to convince her and deal with the consequences of what happens next.
Anda.
Dustborn's coming to PC and next generation consoles in 2021.
Al año que viene PC y consolas de siguiente generación.
Exclusive first look at Dustborn. Okay, what's next, Nolan?
Next, we've got a hardcore first-person platformer whose recent Steam demo was played over 100,000 times. Here's an exclusive look at a new cyberspace level containing new enemies and abilities from Ghost Runner.
Bueno.
Exclusive.
A ver, este ya hemos hablado y todo.
Relax.
Sí.
Embrace the software.
Este de hecho hemos mostrado gente muchas veces. Te mueres de un toque.
Speed and mobility are your greatest assets in battle.
Ghost Runner, este año. Steam y consolas de esta generación.
Ghost Runner is coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC.
Ah, Switch también.
All right, we're flipping back in time to the 1930s now with a game that stole the show at the recent Xbox Series X showcase. Here's Tatiana Delgado to reveal more about Call of the Sea's spectacular first trailer.
El Ghost Runner este trajimos hace unos meses trajimos hasta gameplay.
Exclusive.
Está bastante interesante, ¿eh?
Oh, Harry. What have you done?
Hello, I'm Tatiana Delgado from Out of the Blue Games, working on Call of the Sea. You might have seen our reveal trailer during the recent Xbox Series X event, but we wanted to take the opportunity to walk you through it and tell you a bit more about the game.
How strange that your trail ends here.
Call of the Sea is a first-person adventure puzzle game set in the 1930s that takes place in the far reaches of the South Pacific. You take the role of Nora, a woman who has crossed an ocean in search of her husband's missing expedition. At Out of the Blue, we love telling stories and designing puzzles. That is why we wanted to create a game that had a strong presence of both. And also, we always approach our games with the player's emotions in mind. That being said, although Call of the Sea is a puzzle game, I would say that it is the narrative that drives the game. Therefore, puzzles serve the narrative and make the story advance as a reward when solving them. Some of the puzzles we have to do with the expedition itself, using the real-world technology of the era. In others, you will try to decipher what the ancient runes were for. And going back to the story, we have the good fortune of having actress Cissy Jones as the voice of Nora. We adore her acting in Firewatch and her ability to create a strong presence with only her voice. It is a tale of self-discovery.
The Witness con algo más de historia, no sé, Zurano. Es una aventura con puzzles, exploración. La primera vez la vimos en el Inside Xbox, finales de mayo.
This is not a horror game, but an adventure game.
¿Ves? Dice, no es un juego de miedo, es una aventura.
At the same time, an emotional journey. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to revealing more of Call of the Sea in the coming months.
Call of the Sea. Why?
Call of the Sea is developed by Out of the Blue and will launch on Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Windows platforms.
Our next game features none other than
Ya habéis oído, para las consolas de Microsoft y PC.
He's a youthful, more arrogant version of the famous detective. Here's the producer and community manager from Frogwares to tell us more about the game's setting and how they plan to create a truly open-world detective game.
Un juego de detectives de mundo abierto? What the
Hi
fucking
everyone,
fuck?
my name is Sergey Ganisyan and I'm the producer and community manager at Frogwares. We are an 80 people strong independent studio from Kyiv, Ukraine. You may know us for our detective games such as the Sherlock Holmes adventures as well as the recent The Sinking City. We are working on our new game, Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. It's a story-driven investigation thriller in which you play as the young 21-year-old Sherlock before he becomes the legend that we all know. For John Watson and Jim Moriarty, Sherlock was a brilliant but rebellious aspiring detective trying to prove himself. The game takes place in the late 19th century on a small Mediterranean island where, according to our story, Sherlock grew up before moving to England and to where he comes back, now as an outsider, to investigate the mysterious death of his mother, the death that scarred his childhood. Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 is an open-world detective game with minimum hand-holding. In this game, we are introducing the concept of global investigation gameplay that is heavily based on the feedback that we received from the players on our previous games. We build it on bringing in numerous detective features and mechanics that not only synergize with one another, but also allow you to interact with the world around you. For example, you can now decide to involve random people on the streets in your investigation, ask them for directions, or question those citizens who you think match your suspect profile. And if you doubt they would even talk to some foreigner like you can for instance find the right disguise, say police uniform, to loosen their tone. It's up to you to discover that synergy and use it at the right time, because as I mentioned, there is minimum hand-holding in the game. Of course, making the right deductions and tracking down criminals is another exciting part of a detective's job. We are aiming to give the player the chance to miss a piece of evidence, pursue their own lead, and eventually let a killer walk free. Those who played our Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments will know what I'm talking about. We are bringing Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 to PC and consoles sometime in 2021. Thank you so much for your time.
Para el año que viene, un juego de investigación de Sherlock Holmes de mundo abierto.
We cannot wait to play ourselves.
Puedes preguntar a NPCs o no, o direcciones. Oye, puede estar guay. Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1.
Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 is coming to PC, current, and next-gen consoles in 2021.
In our next part of the show, the Future Game Show goes retro, with a series of games that reimagine the arcade and console classics of some of my favorite eras, the 80s and 90s.
And what better way to begin than with a bullet hell shoot-'em-up created by a small team from Lebanon, including a former Pixar artist. Here's an exclusive gameplay slice of Signy.
Vamos a ver.
Exclusive.
La sección retro de este evento, a ver. ¿Esto que es un 1940 pero hoy en día? con naves, ok. Mira. Tiene la pinta, ¿eh? O sea, me refiero de ese estilo. Del juego de naves este... No sé si conocéis algunos de 1940. Lo del proyecto Maverick sale hoy, no, ayuda all. El próximo lunes, dentro de 2 días, a las 17:00, el primer trailer. Joder. Lo que os gusta los juegos de naves, ¿tiene buena pinta o qué? Coño. Lista de deseados.
Signy is coming to Windows, Mac, and the developers hope next generation consoles. Okay, so we're keeping the arcade vibes coming with a high-speed tribute to arcade racing classics like Daytona USA and a stylish platformer that looks like a noir comic book. But first...
Y usted, no lo sé.
Cuts the flesh, the mind will fall. Slay the 7, save us all. Fulfill what others failed to do.
La hostia.
Narnia depends on you.
¡Ojo, eh!
The 7 acolytes.
Hostia, buena pinta, ¿no? The Witcher 8 bits.
Magratheus bless you.
Yo diría cositas de Bloodborne, he visto por ahí también, ¿eh? Sensaciones, no sé. Tiene buena pinta, tú. Sí, tenía el inventario de los Action RPGs, Squadron. Joder. Jorge Crack, 12 meses. Está suscrito con Twitch Prime. Muchísimas gracias. Mastodonte. Este. Y PC también, ¿vale? No lo han dicho ahí, pero PC también. Está muy guay este juego. Tenéis la demo en Steam.
All in real time on one screen. This unique presentation lets you see the impact of your choices instantly, and to get really creative in combat by combining skills and playing with time. Speaking of combat, we just updated our demo on Steam to include Wilhelm, the Child Mage, and a mini Colosseum mode that features a number of new, challenging battles. We're really
y de hecho lo han actualizado a la que jugué yo.
To next-gen consoles and
la demo.
Consoles later this year.
Este juego tiene una pinta buenísima, os lo digo de verdad. 17 de noviembre de este año, lo hemos visto antes en la PC Gaming Show, pero este juego está muy guay, ¿eh? La demo actualizada en Steam. ¿Cómo se llama? Tales. Chris Tales. Se escribe Chris Tales directamente, con espacio entre Chris y Tales. Steam, probad la demo. Y ese también lo hemos visto antes.
Wait, don't tell me you're with them. Evil corporation, this tech enslavement, that, what's next? Chemtrails? Now it's our time to be heard. Join the revolution.
Steam, GOG.
Where the hell did they drop me?
Consolas hasta la
And
Switch.
finally, we're delighted to announce the release date for Neon Abyss, a frantic action platformer which fuses classic visuals to an ingenious roguelike dungeon system. Its publisher, Team 17, has encapsulated the spirit of independent games for over 30 years, with titles including Worms, Overcooked, The Escapist, and a whole lot more.
Exclusive.
Rated T for Teen.
Este es un juego de Team 17, Team 17, los de Worms. Bueno. Buenas noches, Goldie. Sí, hombre, sí, ponte a pescar. Este juego le gustará a Cabra. No, desde luego Neón es un rato, ¿eh? Desde luego Neón es un rato, el 14 de julio. Xbox One, Switch, Steam, PS4.
Neon Abyss will be launching on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Windows on July 14th, 2020.
Our next game has been in early access since 2018 with an almost 90% very positive reviews on Steam. Here's an exclusive look at the new Easy Day Academy high school level in skateboarding sim Skater XL.
Exclusive.
No salen nunca juegos de patinetes, nano, y ahora van a salir dos de skate. Venga, échame ahí. No, este es otro. Este es otro, sí. George Bozcadillo.
Hi, my name is Dane. I'm the director at Easy Day Studios and we're working on Skater XL. Today we're showing a first look at the Easy Day.
¿Qué tal es esa franquicia? ¿Alguna habéis jugado? ¿Es mejor, peor que la de Tony Hawk? Ah, bueno, y eso, Jurano, encima falta el Skate Bear este.
This level is based on something that's really key to skateboarding, which is the California school environment. This is something that's been in countless skate videos over the years, elementary schools, high schools, very common sort of area. Type of terrain for skateboarding. One thing we learned in starting to build environments for Skater XL is that we have a very unique game mechanic, so we had to go back to the drawing board on...
Al Magnus, este está en Early Access con 90% de críticas positivas. Hostia, pues de puta madre, ¿no?
But also, we mix in countless real-world spots. There's probably about 25 real skate spots some that are very recognizable to anyone in skateboarding, from real high schools, real elementary schools. We've got Wallenberg, we've got Clipper, we've got parts of Lockwood Elementary, just a lot of different places. Again, these are historic pieces. If you know skating, you probably know a bunch of these spots. And the interesting thing is, again, based on the game mechanic itself, we've actually massaged and tweaked each of these spots to be not just recognizable, but also really fun and work with game mechanic as well.
I'm flying out to unknown settings.
The unique thing about Skater XL is it really starts with the controls. The joysticks, the analog sticks on the gamepad, map directly to the feet, so you have independent control of each of the foot, and everything is completely physics-based and generated in the moment. So what this leads to is, kind of a first for skateboarding games in general, is that, the gameplay is not driven by animations, it's driven by the physics. We didn't actually program tricks into the game.
No se basa en animaciones, sino en la física.
With that movement, you're able to do all kinds of tricks. So as you build up your skill, you're also building up your ability to articulate and perform those tricks in different ways. The element of style and execution comes into it.
Está guay esto,
and that's
¿no?
really where the
A los que os gustan estos
satisfaction
juegos.
of this game comes, that you're really directly in control. Just like real skateboarding, there's such a depth in the ways that you can use that board and how you can develop your skills. It becomes a very personal thing. And in the real world, that leads to all these other things that pop up around skateboarding, the culture and the creative side and the community, and that's something very unique to skateboarding you don't see with other things. So, our goal has really been to capture a lot of those elements and bring them into the game as well. The interesting thing is that it's been a decade since the last significant entrant into
Dice Tasty Rules. Parece muy fácil, la realidad es que luego te hostias vivo. Sí, a lo mejor, claro, no te van a poner las partes en las que te hostias, claro. Te van a poner las cosas chulas en un trailer.
Different platforms, so we're seeing a really interesting explosion of content, our creative community, and modders and all these different things happening.
A lo mejor intentas hacer eso tan simple, y te tiras 2 horas la primera vez que te pones a jugar, pero...
Skater XL is coming out onto all major platforms July 28th, and that includes Nintendo Switch,
Coño, mes que viene.
4, Xbox One, and PC.
¡Sara está en Switch! ¡No!
Thanks, Dane, and the whole team at Easy Day Studios. Our next game bills itself as Synthwave FPS.
Which means it looks nice and you shoot things.
It's already been a big hit on Steam, and we're pleased to announce today that it's now coming to Xbox One. This is GTTOD. Get to the orange door.
Ya está en Steam y llega a Xbox.
We have arrived.
Hostia, si no tienes epilepsia la pillas con este juego,
Get to the Orange Door is coming to Xbox One in 2020. And
Hala, a jugar con paz con esto. Buena suerte, no. Que vaya bien.
Free to download on Steam.
Okay, Nolan, come on, you're dying here.
What are you talking about? I'm not that bad.
No, I mean you're gonna be dying when you play our next game. A third-person action-adventure, get this, it's set within a
Aventura de acción en tercera persona.
Explore your memories while fighting for your life.
Okay, I'm confused. I think I need to see the trailer.
All right, glad you asked.
Exclusive.
¿Qué cojones? Hostia, qué rápido la ha matado, ¿no? Ok, el próximo jueves. Vale.
Waking is coming to Xbox and Steam on June 18th, 2020.
Who wants an exclusive premiere? Well, I'm not really asking here. This is actually happening. Our next game is a sequel to the critically acclaimed World War II flying sim Bomber Crew, which boldly goes as close as its licensing team allows into a new era. You get it.
Sí, tío, vértigo. Esto da literalmente vértigo. Bdumts.
For too long, the phasmids have been causing trouble in our peaceful little corner of space. But not any longer.
Gina, let's go full Abrams with the flares.
Enlist today
No conozco Bomber Crew y esto es una secuela en el espacio.
Adventure and do your part.
Let's get some of those cool wipey things in this part, Gina. Join us on
Hostia.
Athena Station.
Esto es una especie de Faster Than Light.
Experience the rush of spaceflight. Seek out new life. And make new friends along. And make new friends. And make new friends along the way. Live, laugh, and prosper. And join the space crew.
Gina, let's zoom around in 3D and get some explosions going on here. End it with a bang.
Coño. Consolas, hasta la Switch,
Space Crew is
Steam.
published by Curve Digital and will launch on PC, Xbox One, PS4, and Switch in late 2020.
Hey, Nolan, I got a good question for you. You ready? What is scarier than clowns?
Nothing is scarier than clowns. You know that.
Well, you wouldn't say that if you'd been to Wales. You should probably cover your eyes for this.
Estamos con los jueguecitos de miedo.
Exclusive.
These are not words I wish to write. I fear you may believe me taken with madness. My father seeks to use me. He wishes me to sing for him as she did. To become the star attraction that will draw good folk to this accursed spit of land. I cannot explain further, but ask that you trust me. Your love, always, Elizabeth.
Sí que voy a entrar yo ahí, sí.
Hello, my
Sí
name
que
is Ben
entro.
Tester, and I'm
Sí,
head
sí,
of
sí.
marketing at Wells Interactive. Right now we're finishing work on a new title, Made of Scare, and we're really excited to be able to share with you this new and exclusive gameplay footage.
Gameplay.
Made of Scare is a first-person survival horror game, which features a story inspired by Welsh folklore. It fuses psychological, gothic, and British horror. Set in 1898, Made of Scare is inspired by the haunting Welsh tale of Elizabeth Williams. It's a story of a family empire that's driven by torture, slavery, piracy, and a supernatural mystery that suffocates the grounds of the hotel. In this footage, we wanted to explore the 3D sound-based AI system that is the core survival mechanic. We want to show you what you can do to remain undetected, and if you're caught, what tools are available for you to survive. The enemies at Scare Hotel are completely blind, and they hunt by only what they can hear. So any
Los
noise
enemigos son
they make when
ciegos,
walking or running, bumping
se
into
guían por el
environmental
sonido.
objects, or even breathing heavily will often result in death.
Y respirar fuerte hasta también los
Avoid
alerta.
detection by creeping,
Muy bien esto.
avoiding the obstacles that make the noise. But if the enemies are close, then holding your breath is the only option. If you mistime this and run out of breath, then even your panting will get you killed. You are not completely defenseless. There'll be a sound-based weapon available with limited ammo that's hidden in and around the grounds of the hotel. You'll have to find health items, collectibles, puzzle pieces, map pieces, and story pickups, all items that you can find and add to your inventory. The game will feature 3 levels of difficulty. The scares remain the same throughout, but a change in AI behavior, enemy strength, limited manual saves, and reduced ammo and health items will put more of an emphasis on that classic survival horror experience. Made of Scare is coming to PC and console. with a digital and physical launch on PS4 and Xbox One this July. You can wishlist the game now on Steam, and pre-purchase will be available in the coming weeks. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Hasta luego.
Hey Nolan, you can open your eyes now. Okay, there you go. All right, Made of Scare launches on PS4, Xbox, Switch, and Windows in 2020.
Hey, Em, what's better than looking at one upcoming game?
Is this another one of your dad jokes?
It's looking at a collection of upcoming games in the space of a few minutes.
Okay, I'm listening.
Here's an incredible lineup of future hits to get excited about.
Venga, varios juegos seguiditos. Este me suena, el Smite. ¿Esto es World Premiere? Madre mía. ¿Qué dice? ¡Ah, el camión ya! Hay demo y todo por ahí, ¿eh? Mira, este no lo conocía. Anno Mutationem. Hostia, qué buena pinta, ¿no? ¡Ojo, No petardéis, por favor. Ah, mira, esto lo hemos visto antes. Y este también. ¿Y esto? Ese es el que es un taxista, ¿no? Mira, el Windjam, me acuerdo jugar yo esta en la recreativa. Joder, ¿por qué petardea? Se acabó el petardeamiento. Toma por culo.
And you can find out more information about all those titles by heading to GamesRadar.com. Our next game appeared in our sister event, the PC Gaming Show, just a few hours ago, and we're delighted to have John Pearl join us now for an exclusive look at Remnant From the Ashes DLC, subject 2923.
Otra vez el Remnant.
Exclusive.
No, no es el internet, es lag. Ya te digo yo que eso no es.
Hello, I'm John Pearl, the design director at Gunfire Games. Right now, the team is hard at work on Subject 2923, the final DLC for Remnant From the Ashes. This DLC is much larger and more expansive than any of the previous content we've released.
Coño, está guay.
This DLC will introduce a brand new campaign that takes place a year after the events of the base campaign of Remnant. This campaign focuses on the origin of the Dreamer project and how it connects to the Roots invasion on Earth. With the footage we're showing, we're giving y'all a sneak peek at the icy and unforgiving heights of the new explorable world of Risum. The inhabitants of the world are an entirely new faction of enemies, the Uriki, which are a race of menacing humanoid rats. In combat, you'll find they are as resourceful as they are deadly.
Yes.
This DLC has a lot of additional content. With the addition of the new campaign comes all new quests, bosses, weapons, trinkets, armor sets, and more. Additionally, Reason will be added as an option in Adventure mode, and if you have the Swamps of Courses DLC, it'll add Reason to the rotation of Survival mode as well. The Subject 2923 DLC is coming to PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4 on August 20th, and we can't wait for everyone to play it. Thank you so much for tuning in to find out what's next for Remnant from the Ashes. Hope you all enjoy the rest of the Future Games Show.
Joder, cómo aguantar, ¿no?
Alright, so Remnant from the Ashes, Subject 2923, will launch on Xbox One, PS4, and Windows PC.
Ya hemos visto gameplay de este DLC.
And now for something completely different.
Este no lo vimos ayer.
Exclusive.
Everybody loves playing board games now they're finally cool. But they're not so easy to play when you can't meet up with your friends or loved ones. Don't fret, my old chums. Here at Thunderbox HQ, we've been working tirelessly to create state-of-the-art AI, amazing computer graphics, a bitching synth soundtrack, and our laser-powered but totally harmless board game zapping digitizer. All so we can bring you the retro sci-fi survival strategy we like to call The Captain is Dead. Let me just load it up for you.
¿Qué es esto?
Oh my god, there are aliens all over the ship. Come on, open up. Wow, this looks kind of dangerous. Good!
Ready! Get your goddamn dirty tentacles off of my spaceship!
Biological components operating at 100%. Skill assimilated.
Reminds me of one of those old-fashioned video games. And I'm done.
Taking charge. I haven't used one of these since 3086. I'm still back.
Those aliens picked the wrong ship to mess with.
The Captain is Dead. Head on over right now to Steam right now to wish list it up right now.
Right now,
The Captain is Dead is a digital board game and will launch on Steam in 2020.
Okay, so our next
Llega
games
este
are
año.
linked by their
Juego de
focus
tablero
on
digital.
player creativity. From designing a food-themed obstacle course for you and your friends to creating a mobile base that traverses a savage land. But let's start with a title called Main Assembly.
Hello inventors, and welcome to Main Assembly, a game that gives you the freedom to create anything you can imagine. With huge open sandboxes to explore, your creations will be pushed.
Hackerman, ¿verdad, Ayudaón? ¿Que era Hackerman?
Packed with loads of challenges and parts to unlock, pushing your inventions to the limit. Revolutionary freeform crafting lets you construct anything with ease and precision. Once you have perfected your design, why not take it for a test flight? Happy with how your robot looks? With the visual programming interface, you can set up controls and use sensors to make logic for different types of automation and really put your creations to work. Or jump online with friends to compete and collaborate. Show your creations to the world and test out what others in the community have built in the workshop. Will your creation be the one that everyone is talking about?
Hostia, eso es un
Main Assembly is out now
56.
in early access. See you there, inventors.
Ok. Besich, pero con curvas, ¿sí, no? Al Magnus. Otra vez este le gusta mucho a usted. Tomad nota. Le encanta, le gustan mucho estos juegos de plastilina. Se los juega, se los disfruta mucho.
I'm Jackson and I'm from Mythical Games, and today we're super excited to give you an in-depth look at our new games Blanco's Block Party. We're a new studio created by a bunch of veterans who helped create some of the world's biggest game franchises, including Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Skylanders, DJ Hero, Guitar Hero, and Minecraft Story Mode. Blanco's Block Party is a game about vinyl toys coming to life, but it's actually more than just a game. It's a place for gamers and content creators and collectors to come together and to build and to own and to set the rules.
Que me ha gustado el de la tipa esta que parecía rollo pues Bloodborne y tal, me ha gustado mucho. No recuerdo cómo se llama. A lo mejor luego lo repasan.
You go there as a solo player, it's going to be full of other players doing their thing.
¿Por qué lo mejor de la conferencia es dialogar contigo? Porque evidentemente son conferencias que pueden tener uno o dos platos fuertes, pero el resto... Y más hoy que nos hemos tragado 3, se repiten. No soy yo, es que no... O sea, no es algo... No es un punto mío, es un punto malo de ellos.
Super powerful for some of the race games. You're also going to be able to get these really cool rewards from requests. Some of those things might be.
Pero bueno, evidentemente no todo no toda la industria de los videochocos son triples A. Hay que entenderlo. Y hay juegos que los hemos visto, ¿eh? Esta es la tercera conferencia que vemos hoy. Conferencia de evento. Pero coño, hay cosas muy chulas, ¿eh? Que no necesariamente son triples A.
And create these levels. Key to it is everything can be done with a game controller. In Blanco's Block Party, you're going to be getting.
Llevamos 0 juegos de cartas tipo Slide Spire, ¿verdad? En este evento. Llevamos 0, ¿no? De momento llevamos 0 en este, ¿eh?
So if you manage to snag one of the cool ones, you're going to be one of the few that gets to keep that for as long as you want to keep it. The same applies to any of the.
Y dinosaurios también, 0, ¿no?
Those are going to be locked to a season, and anything that you get from completing those things only is available in that season.
0 días. Sí, hay 0 días en dinosaurios, tío.
Our proprietary technology platform provides true ownership of what players buy and create through verifiable assets. It allows us to legitimize the type of grey markets that pop up around so many games, and it gives players the power to dictate the value of those assets.
Que sí, que lo hemos pillado, no. No, siga, no.
And we're going to make it really easy for you to do what you want with that.
Eso sí, navecitas y monigotes lo regalan. Oye, de las naves estaba guay, ¿eh? De las naves, hay mucha gente que le apasiona en ese tipo de juegos. Se los disfrutan, de las naves pintaba muy guay, ¿eh? Yo ya jugué suficientes juegos de naves en las recreativas, ya me dejé suficiente pasta. Ya paso.
If you want to know more about it, head over, reserve your account at blancos.com, and you can also follow us on Twitter at playblancos and Instagram at playblancos. Thank you.
¿Dónde está la droga de verdad? Yo qué sé. La droga de verdad es algo así como la piedra filosofal para los valencianos. Todos los valencianos siempre la buscamos. Otra exclusiva.
Exclusive.
Con comillas, ¿no? A ver. ¿Este es el Final Fantasy? No. ¿Se sabe la fecha de otra conferencia de Sony para anunciar la fecha de Horizon para PC? Creo que no. Creo que no, Pedro. Si fuera Final Fantasy tendría que ser World Premiere. A ver, me refiero a este proyecto que presentó el otro día Square en la conferencia de Sony, que le llama Project Patatín, pero que todos sabemos que es Final Fantasy XVI, ¿no? Ok, a eso me refiero. George Bocadillo, ten en cuenta que Square Enix va a estar hoy.
Last Oasis is the nomadic survival MMO, combining innovative features that allow players to traverse the world on complex machines, engage in epic battles both against the fauna and against each other, leave a mark on the player-driven economy, and do many more exciting things in this unique world. What we're showing here today is the next big addition to the game, a volcanic oasis. This upcoming type of a map consists of all new areas.
Este ya está en Steam. Sí, está hablando de una actualización, esto de la lava. Este ya está entonces.
To harden it
El Last
volcanic
Oasis.
rock formations that creates natural passages and scorching hot lava lakes, obliterating anything that gets near.
Esto ya está en Steam, ¿habéis jugado alguno? ¿Es free to play o hay que o es early access?
And find rare loot in mysterious man-made stone ruins, and even hunt legendary
pero Square hace conferencia hoy. No, que hoy es una de las compañías que va a estar en esto que estamos viendo, en este Future Game Show. Entonces algo tendrá que enseñar.
Greenery and sources of water are hard to come by, and hostile flying monsters don't make it any easier to explore because they're attracted to walker wings, making it essential for anyone who decides to venture towards these new territories to prepare in advance.
Es early, Flavius.
Traders will likely take advantage of the resource scarcity.
¿Te habéis jugado alguno?
Try to make some floss.
Está guay.
Desperate nomads missing some wood or water.
Cabur dice, este es Last Oasis, sí, Last Oasis, están hablando de pues las últimas actualizaciones que van a meter al early. Oye, qué buena pinta, ¿no? No sé.
So make sure to try Last Oasis out now on Steam. See you next time.
No sé, hostia puta, esta conferencia es infumable. ¿Tampoco te gusta RNX?
Talks to industry experts about how next-gen consoles and PC technology are changing the way we play. We hope you enjoy our special investigation into the future of gaming. And for the record, we called it that first.
Uy, ¿van a hablar de hardware o de engines? El futuro del videojuego. A ver.
Time to see what's next.
A new generation of gaming is upon us. With home consoles such as Sony's PlayStation 5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X set to release in late 2020, developers are preparing to change the way we
Una nevera y un router, no, el futuro del videojuego.
Continuing to push the boundaries of cloud gaming technology, while studios like Epic Games are beginning to show us what a new generation of engines will be capable of delivering. The Future Game Show has caught up with some of the world's leading developers in fields including graphics, audio, storytelling, and machine learning to discover how the next generation of hardware will push video games in a way that we have never experienced before.
The way that I see game worlds changing in the next generation is with a bigger focus on player interaction and making the worlds feel truly alive. We can already make game worlds that are almost too big for the amount of content.
Dice que los mundos, los universos de juego del futuro se centrarán en tener más interacción. Es que no sé, llevo escuchando esto tantos meses.
The new technology that really excites me is using machine learning, both to make the game a lot more responsive and meaningful to the player, and to augment my abilities as a game developer. The way that I see video games evolving in the next generation is with richer game interactivity. We've seen graphics fidelity just explode over the last 20 years. Games can look so good these days, it's crazy. But the sorts of things you can do in video games have not really caught up. What I'm super interested in is solving problems that help game worlds and the characters in them play and feel as alive as they can now look. The next generation of tools and technology should allow a game to really acknowledge the emergent, creative things you can do as a player, and to help game developers create richer, more soulful game worlds. I'm really excited about using technologies like semantic ML to help game characters feel more responsive and alive, to get the game to create content not just randomly, but based on the kinds of things you've done as a player so far.
One way that game worlds might feel more alive in the future is by replacing scripted interactions with organic conversations. This live demo from Russian AI project LiveMind literally puts words into Geralt's mouth and could be a sign of things to come.
Do you remember Beckelwood Derby?
Yes, I won a great saddle for racing then.
Sí, claro.
Of course, it isn't just game worlds that will evolve in the next generation, but the types of stories being told within them too. Narrative is such an important component to the games we play, furthering our connection with virtual spaces and the characters that inhabit them. It makes sense then that this is one area developers are eager to evolve.
I wrote my first game for a computer with 1K on cassette. Obviously, 40 years later, so much has changed. but in some ways, we're still pursuing the same goal.
The biggest benefit of games as a storytelling medium is the interaction, but often we still tell the stories at the players instead of truly letting them be a part of it.
Future of interactive storytelling should be about how we can make the experiences frictionless.
Decía que todavía le cuentan la historia al jugador en lugar de que él la vea.
You know, tailored experiences that they can do not only by themselves but also with friends at home or online.
I'm also hoping to see storytelling explore more collaborative efforts.
Mira, esta exploración de la narrativa que hace Eric Conforme sí que me parece algo digno de elogiar o al menos de remarcar.
What should be at the heart of every storytelling experience in AAA? You know, can we make it more about the internal conflicts rather than those external conflicts of running, jumping, and shooting?
Movies never have to cut away to load the next scene or more assets. If there's a cut to black, it's only because the director wanted that cut in that exact moment.
¿Por qué no traduces? Porque voy a ir más lento que si... O sea, si hay gente que lo está escuchando directamente puede que les moleste. Si dicen algo destacado, sí que lo digo. Pero es que es la moto que llevo escuchando no los últimos 6 meses, todas las generaciones, entonces... Sí, hombre, audio también, faltaría más. Sí, hombre, sí.
A new generation of hardware means we are about to encounter a new frontier for graphical fidelity and visual effects. That's a given. But what about game audio? Sony and Microsoft are putting more emphasis than ever before on audio. And in the way that sound can draw us in game worlds like never before, could our sense of immersion in virtual spaces be about to change entirely?
In the next generation, audio will definitely be recorded and expressed in a much bigger sense. We're already starting to see hints of it already. Technologies such as ambisonics and ambisonics are being rediscovered, and people are starting to think in different ways of how we could even push the boundaries even further.
Si no hay que escucharlo con unos altavoces de televisión, lo que tú me digas me entra por un oído y literalmente me sale por el otro.
Is kind of the most outspoken example of this. And so with that new immersion, hopefully is going to come whole new levels of player engagement.
This is something that's very special about sound and music is that it really gets to, you know, it accesses the core of who we are, and the fact that we have 3D audio will enhance that in a much grander sense.
Of course, some of the biggest changes to play you won't be able to see. From smaller teams being given the tools to more easily achieve their creative ambitions, the expansion of services such as cross-platform play and cloud gaming, to a huge reduction in load times and install sizes. Here's just some of the reasons developers are excited about the changes on the near horizon.
Playing games in the next generation should feel more social than ever, with all the online services bound to get a refresh. I definitely feel like the next generation will have more opportunities to play together when we can't.
Dice que la próxima generación tendrá más oportunidades de jugarse online, mucho más énfasis de los servicios online, jugar juntos y ese tipo de cosas. Mucho más social, vamos.
More and more social manner, and it'll be strange in the future if you find someone that's actually playing a game purely solo and never plays any game with other people.
Crossplay is becoming more widely accepted and implemented.
Sí, eso sí que es cierto. El crossplay cada vez se va volviendo, se extiende más, se va aceptando más, o por así decirlo, hay empresas que se vuelven más tolerantes con el crossplay.
Almost zero load times, cross-platform ownerships of games, cross-platform cloud saves, and just overall the focus on the player's experience rather than the platform itself.
Dice eso, juego cruzado, salvado en la nube, que luego puedas cargar desde cualquiera de las plataformas donde tengas el juego. Bueno, en algunas sí, en algunas no, ya sabéis cómo va esta cosa en PC.
Very, very high resolution. And we'll be able to come to rely on game engines to do so much of what we couldn't do before in terms of
ya no me acordaba del Legion, tú.
Facial expression, complex animation.
¿Qué habrá sido de este juego?
What this will do is it'll level the playing field for developers, and developers who previously couldn't have competed at the high end will be able to do so. It's a really exciting time.
Quizá la digital venga con 2 gigas. Bueno, o sea, con 2 teras.
We'd like to thank everyone who gave up their time to bring us that
no lo sé.
insight into the future.
No lo sé, Squadfro.
All right, our next game is
Ten en cuenta Squadfiro que
Thanks, Emily. You know, guys,
tampoco tienes por qué ampliarlo. Es digital, te lo desinstalas y te lo vuelves a descargar. No lo sé. Yo lo veo más la versión digital como una oportunidad para ofrecer una consola más barata. No lo sé.
Exclusive.
A ver, exclusive.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brian Fargo. I was the executive producer
Puto amo.
on the original Fallout and Wasteland series. And I'm here to tell you today that finally Wasteland 3 is coming. August 28th.
28 de agosto.
Xbox,
Wasteland 3.
PlayStation 4.
PS4, Xbox One y PC.
Who would do this? Who would murder families and children? Let's find the monsters who did this.
Para aquellos que no sepáis, esto es un juego de rol en el que se lucha pues como un juego de estrategia táctica, como un XCOM. Pero esto es un juego de rol, ¿ok? Esto es un RPG. Y ya hablamos en Full HP de él, de que Brian Fargo, de hecho, en una entrevista dijo que estaban muy centrados en las decisiones que pudieras tomar, en no ser tramposos con ellas, en que tuvieran realmente consecuencias y, ¿por qué no?, de vez en cuando meter alguna chorrada, alguna locura. Ojalá un juego así, rollo Divinity. A ver, Chavito Kun, está el Baldur's Gate 3 al caer, o al menos su early access.
Wastelands 3 is coming to Xbox One, PS4, Windows, Mac, and Linux on August 28th, 2020.
Sale hasta en Linux, nano, no hay excusa.
Question. If clowns are a 10 on the scarometer...
And what? My dying is like a 4?
Yeah, we've been over this. Look, if clowns are like high, then our next game needs a new scoring system.
Pero digo con temática como el Wasteland. ¿Te refieres post-apocalíptica?
Broken porcelain.
No rollo Dungeons and Dragons.
Exclusive.
Es que temática, combate, ¿qué quieres decir? Con armas.
Miss Reed. Come in.
Good evening, Mr. Ashman. Do you remember me?
Only between old friends.
¡Oiga! Ese es el pavo de...
I'm Jennifer, by the way.
De Aníbal, ¿no?
Lindsay? But call me Lynn.
¿Esto que es un silencio de los corderos con ella de cría?
At last. It's just a bad dream.
Where are you? Show yourself!
Put the axe!
Vale, hombre.
What have you done to her?
Hostias.
You won't do it, Mr. Ashman.
Of course I will.
Joder, ¿qué es esto, tío? Ok. Ok, no. Vale. Sale hasta en Switch.
Remothered Broken Porcelain comes to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Windows in late 2020.
Ya sé que lo repito mucho, pero nadie se quiere perder la Switch, ¿eh? Nadie se quiere perder el parque de Switch que hay por ahí danzando, ¿eh? Más de 50 millones.
World premiere.
A ver. Vale, wow, ok.
Oh man, we can't wait to see more from this team in the coming months.
So the Future Games Show has taken a closer look at the games of tomorrow, but big changes are happening to the way we play right now. Features such as cross-progression and cross-play allow us to...
Cross-play? It sounds like you that time you tried to play Crash Bandicoot.
As I was saying, new features like crossplay let PS4 owners connect with Xbox, Switch, and PC owners in their favorite shooters. And we caught up with developers Hi-Rez about how these features work in their current and upcoming games.
Crossplay lets you play games with your friends, regardless of which
Nos van a explicar lo que es el
and it's grown
crossplay.
in popularity thanks to titles such as Fortnite
Básicamente es que
and Call
puedes
of
jugar
Duty Warzone.
a juegos
Developers
independientemente de la
Hi-Rez are
plataforma.
trailblazers in this field, but the industry as a whole has been slower to embrace the potential of crossplay. We caught up with Hi-Rez to ask why and to
Dice que la
discover the
industria
importance of crossplay.
ha tardado en aprovechar el potencial de crossplay. Bueno, ha tardado. No ha querido, ha tardado.
To
Matices.
overcome the challenges of making crossplay work, you need to change people's mindsets. There's a fear that platforms will lose revenues and lose players to competing platforms if they open the doors to crossplay and progression. In the future, I think you'll start to see consoles and other platforms embrace a truly play-anywhere experience.
It will become increasingly less important what hardware you're using to access the game and much more about like connectivity and communication.
There'll still be exclusives, but the true crossover hits won't be constrained to one platform.
Crossplay and cross-progression also challenges game developers to think more globally and holistically about audiences. That you should be able to play from anywhere, doing anything, and kind of have that that follow you around as you go from console to console or platform to platform.
If they choose Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo or PC for the next generation, it doesn't matter. The game they love and the purchases they made will come with them.
Players expect the same experience across all of their platforms, and so to be able to actually pull that off takes a reasonably high level of sophistication. And you also want to ensure that kind of competition across all these platforms is fair regardless of who they're up against. Now that a console game is a PC game, is a mobile game,
Sí, o sea, básicamente el crossplay es eso, es decir, como puedes jugar con tus amigos independientemente de la plataforma para la que te compres el juego, puedes elegir la plataforma que mejor se adapte a ti. Puedes elegir una Switch, puedes elegir una PS4, puedes elegir una Xbox One o la próxima generación, o puedes elegir un PC. Pero eso no va a ser algo, no te van a secuestrar, no va a venir una compañía y va a decir, si no te lo compras para mi plataforma, no voy a dejar que nadie interactúe con mi lista de amigos. Ok, y sí, esto es un avance para el consumidor, que debería haberse producido hace 5, 7, 8 años, sí, pero es que hasta ahora no han querido. Pero sí, esto es algo que obviamente beneficia al consumidor por lo que acabo de decir. Puedes jugar con tus amigos independientemente de qué plataforma estén jugando y por lo tanto tú ya eliges la plataforma, insisto, que mejor se adecua a ti.
You guys ready? It's time to get paid! Don't worry, Dimo was born ready.
What's up, everybody? I'm Scott Lucier, aka Scott Gandhi, and I'm the lead designer at First Watch Games. Currently, we're finishing work on Rogue Company, and we're really excited to be able to share this update with you today. Rogue Company is a third-person shooter that features a unique blend between action-paced gameplay and objective-based game modes. In Rogue Company, you play as a rogue, which are a group of elite mercenaries that operate outside of the wall, and they drop in exotic locations all over the world. Rogue Company is going to be free to play, and it'll feature cross-play and cross-progression across all platforms. Since day one of our cornerstones was making sure that you were able to play the game you want, on the platform you want, with the friends that you want. At the end of the day, Rogue Company can be summarized in one word: inclusive. Today we are in the late stages of Rogue Company development, which means we're testing cross-play and cross-progression features, polishing weapons, rogues, and maps. The majority of my time is spent refining the core combat experience.
Habéis visto es un shooter pues con algunas habilidades por ahí.
And modes are providing exciting and unique games. I do want to say, it's pretty amazing to play Rogue Company on a handheld device like the Switch. Being able to play Rogue Company at 60 FPS as I sit on the couch and my wife is watching another episode of Love Island is a dream come true.
Dice que funciona a 60 FPS en la Switch, Rogue Company.
Rogue Company is coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch later this summer. We
Llega a finales de verano.
for you to play our labor of love. To sign up for the alpha, head on over to roguecompany.com. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Ah, no es de PC, es de Epic.
Big thanks to the teams at Hi-Rez for that look into the future of crossplay and info about their upcoming titles.
Now we all know the next generation consoles are getting closer, so here's an exclusive look at what's to come in Square Enix's third-person shooter, Outriders.
Qué divertido el evento. ¡Yeah, Nacho!
Exclusive.
¿Te quieres venir?
Next time on the Outriders broadcast, we'll be taking a look at the journey into the unknown, plus the characters joining your adventure as you battle through a hostile world. We'll also be showcasing a brand new area and delving deeper into our next class, the Pyromancer. Coming next month.
Mira, esto es lo de Square Enix. Que van a enseñar el... Ok.
We can't wait to hear more about Outriders in the lead up to release sometime in holiday 2020.
We're heading 150
wow.
years into the future
Mi
next,
puta calavera.
where humanity is struggling to survive, and human brains
el
are
Outriders
being
mostrará al Pyromancer.
Robot
Me
bodies.
cago en...
Here's more on disintegration.
Not one step further. See what we've got. 5 integrated outlaws.
Sir, have you got weapons and shelter in there? Maybe you could give us a chance to rest.
We may have more of interest to you than guns.
Hi there, my name's Marcus Leto. I'm the president and creative director at V1 Interactive, and we are currently working on our brand new debut game called Disintegration. And we are super excited to finally be getting ready for it to launch.
Un co-creador de Halo.
Wow. Look at you.
El Disintegration este llevamos viéndolo ya unos cuantos meses.
With Disintegration, we set out to build something truly unique.
It blends... Tú controlas la nave esa que dispara desde el cielo y además tienes estos robots que están en el suelo y también los diriges.
In a way that's never been done before, and in a way that required us to invent all new gameplay mechanics in order for it to work.
Ok, Nacho, avísame y entonces pongo el Discord.
The story of Disintegration is something that's set about 150 years from now in the future, where humanity's really struggling to survive. And one means of survival is taking the human brain and actually implanting it within an armored shell and attaching that to a robotic armature, allowing them to survive through this period of time.
Hasta hemos visto gameplay y todo, o sea... Ya digo, tú eres la nave esa que dispara y hace... O sea, no... Hace mucho daño, hace... Carrilea, ¿vale? Pero además tienes en el suelo esos robots a los que diriges desde el aire.
We play some of those early integrated who are fighting back and who don't want to follow along with the Rayon.
I've seen what you call freedom. Not interested.
In Disintegration's multiplayer, we allow the players to team up 5v5 against one another, each with their own crew in this incredible.
Está diciendo del multijugador que pues, son 5 jugadores contra 5 jugadores, cada uno de los jugadores con su propia sus propios robots para luchar.
In order for the player to really have success playing Disintegration, they need to consider both parts of the equation. On one hand is your grab cycle and your weapons and abilities that you use fluidly in combat. That's just one part of the equation, though. On the other hand is your ground squad.
Está hablando de eso, de cómo pues el daño que haces tú desde la nave, pero también está la parte de dirigir a los robots del suelo. ¿Tiene un 63 en Metacritic? ¿Disqualified? ¿En serio?
So Disintegration is finally going to be released on June 16th on PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and Steam. Well, for the PC, we're excited to be on all 3 platforms simultaneously, and we are eagerly waiting for the community to...
Pues sí, a ver, el juego sale el lunes...
I'm sorry. Were you
No, perdón, el martes. De momento sí tiene un 63.
The grab cycle? I'm a pilot.
29 reviews.
Pre-flight inspection.
No judgments here, huh?
Bueno. 63 en PC, 61 en PS4.
PS4, Xbox One, and PC June 16th.
Now prepare yourselves for a lesson in alternative history as we explore what might have happened if the Second World War didn't end in 1945.
Otra vez. ¿Qué hubiera pasado si la Segunda Guerra no hubiera terminado? La Segunda Guerra Mundial no hubiera terminado. Pues, a ver.
Hi everyone, my name is Bogdan Graczyk, the game director of the upcoming narrative-driven adventure game Paradise Lost. I'm super excited to walk you through the alternative history that serves as the setting for our story. In Paradise Lost, the Second World War doesn't end in 1945. In the spring of 1960, the Nazi regime is on its knees and Soviet troops are closing in. Without warning, the Nazis unleash the full might of their nuclear arsenal on their homeland and Eastern Europe, stopping the Soviet offensive in its tracks and turning Europe into an uninhabitable nuclear wasteland. To the rest of the world, this seems like a final act of desperation by one of the cruelest regimes in human history. Yet, few know of the secrets that have been hidden deep underground. The ARC project is among the most secretive endeavors of the Third Reich. Its goal has been to construct a network of hidden, self-sustainable, heavily fortified underground bunkers meant to shelter an Aryan master race society until it can emerge and rule the post-nuclear landscape. But not everything goes according to plan. For reasons unknown, one of the bunkers, located just outside Kraków, Poland, goes dark. Now, as you discover the past, you can shape the present. It's been 20 years since the explosion that set our story in motion. You play as Szymon, a 12-year-old Polish boy driven by personal tragedy to seek out the bunker on the edge of Kraków. At first, the place seems completely desolate. What brought Szymon to the bunker? What answers is he seeking? You'll have to uncover the truth yourself. So, do you dare discover the last story on Earth?
Joder. Dice, al principio el búnker está vacío, pero ya descubrirás lo que hay. ¿Qué hay?
Paradise Lost is coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X.
Our next game.
Y no dan ni fecha. Vaya.
Emily, have you crossed another thing off my script?
Hey, we discussed this. You can't be trusted.
Unbelievable. Okay, fine. Just roll the tape.
World premiere.
World premiere.
A ver qué tal. Uy, ya estamos.
Do you choose agent? Or choose hacker? It takes two to complete the mission. It takes two to stay alive. Operation Tango. It takes two to save the world.
Uy. Ah, la araña que viene.
Our next game is so secret, we don't even know its name at the time of this recording. So I'm just going to put myself out there and make one up. I'm guessing it's called The Kingdom of the Gusty Willows.
What kind of fake name is that? It is not called The Kingdom of Gusty Willows.
Here's the developers of The Kingdom of the Gusty Willows to talk about their show-stopping new PS5 project, The Kingdom of the Gusty Willows.
Can I make it extremely clear? This is not called The Kingdom of the Gusty Willows.
What's the big deal? It's a good title.
Exclusive.
Muy chulo, pero ya lo vimos en el evento de Sony, ¿verdad?
It's actually called Kena Bridge of Spirits. Hi, I'm Mike Greer. I'm the Chief Creative Officer.
Copyright, 19 meses se ha suscrito. Muchísimas gracias, Copyright. Y Goku de Carabanchel también, muchísimas gracias. Cracks, figuras, mastodontes. Gracias.
Sony PlayStation 5 event. And today we're really excited to share a little bit more about the project with you.
So, what's this game all about?
Well, Kena Bridge of Spirits is a story-driven action-adventure game that combines fast-paced combat with exploration and a really fun, charming companion mechanic where players are going around collecting forest creatures that we call the Rot.
So you play as Kena. She's a spirit guide who has traveled to this forgotten village and soon discovers that there are many trapped, lingering spirits. And it becomes clear that there are larger forces at play that have sort of corrupted the environment and stopped.
Dice que eres Kena, una guía espiritual que llega a este pueblo, que recolectas los bichitos esos,
Well, the main focus of the game
pero que es
actually
un...
revolves around helping these trapped spirits.
Y que te dedicas a ayudar a estos espíritus atrapados.
All focused and kind of themed around the corrupt spirit that's lingering.
And to really help these spirits, you ultimately have to get to know what happened to them in their past life. And to do so, you're looking for clues in the environment, facing combat challenges, solving puzzles. But ultimately, it all relies on building and growing your team.
Yeah, the Rot are key to like sort of every aspect of gameplay. They can be used in combat to augment abilities. They can be used to manipulate the environment, to carry things around for you. The more Rot you have, the stronger you're going to be as a player, and the more abilities you get to unlock. The trailer does a lot of things, but one thing we wanted to do was make sure we established the tone and sort of darker elements that are in the game. And people see the Rot and the cute characters, and they immediately fall in love with them, which is great.
Sí, hemos visto los personajes monos y hemos caído enamorados del juego.
Kind of battling these spirits, we wanted to use to kind of set that darker tone and establish these, that the player is going to be, exposed to some darker themes in the storytelling.
Uy, sí, los jugadores van a estar expuestos a temas oscuros. Sí. Uf, ha de ser terrible este juego. Que no digo que no, pero vamos. No esperéis aquí un de las sofás 2, ¿ok? ¿Cómo se llama este? Kena. Lo presentaron Mira, Kena Bridge of the Spirits. ¡Ah! PS5 y exclusivo de Epic Games Store. Mi puta calavera. O sea, sale en PC. O sea, quiero decir, sale en Epic Games Store. No es exclusivo de PlayStation 5.
Wait, come on.
Cago en la puta.
It wouldn't be a game show without that, we got one more thing. Can we do that one more thing?
Toma carrito, dice Valderrama. Sí, génere con el carrito.
Wait, are we in this one?
No.
Oh, well. But hey, would you work with me again? Maybe in some kind of swashbuckling adventure where I play a roguish, charming adventurer?
Nah, I think I've been there, I've done that.
World premiere.
3 years ago, Serial Cleaner took you back to 1970s America in a single-player stealth action crime story where you played as a professional crime scene cleaner, getting rid of bodies.
¿Trabajas como un limpiador de escenas de crimen profesional?
Now, with over 1 million owners and releases on all major platforms, we're going to the 90s.
Okay.
Well, that really does complete our showcase for 2020.
Yeah, we hope you've had a great time watching and that you've seen something that you can look forward to. We also just want to take a moment to thank our partners for helping put all of this together, but most of all, thank you for watching.
I'm Nolan North.
And I'm Emily Rose.
And this has been, Emily, if you will, The Future
Game Show 2020.
Ya está, hasta aquí. 1 horita 25. Se me ha hecho menos pesado, también es verdad que ha durado una hora menos que el PC Gaming Show, pero se me ha hecho bastante menos pesado que el PC Gaming Show, no sé a vosotros, ¿eh? Y eso que no están metidos, se han puesto a hablar de lo que supondrá la próxima tecnología de las consolas, lo que supondrá el juego cruzado. Aún así, ¿eh? Ok, Vengadores. Y el Godfall. Mira, un DLC. Ahí está. No es un DLC, no es un DLC, vaya hombre. Es un remaster, ¿no? Juanvi, thanks for watching. A vosotros, majos. A vosotros por hacerlo. A vosotros por hacerlo. Bueno, ¿qué tal? Algo que os haya gustado en concreto, que hayas dicho, joder, qué guay esto, que no había visto antes. A ver, yo no me había enterado, no sé si ya se sabía que estaba ya en... Que ya estaba en... o sea, que ya se sabía que el Kena no era exclusivo de PlayStation 5, sino que iba a llegar a Epic Games Store. Casi digo PC otra vez, casi la lío. No lo sabía y ahora lo sé. Bien. Bien, sí sabía, sí, mira, pues yo no lo sabía. No he estado muy ocupado viernes y hoy. Y no he leído si el juego era... O sea, no era exclusivo de PlayStation 5. El Ballet Health, el Signy, ¿ese te ha gustado, Yudaol? Cuando lo anunciaron en PS5, si ibas al abuelo ponía... Ah, pues mira, no lo sabía, Sindra. Sigo hyped por lo que mostró Sony de PS5, dice George. ¿Sí? Horrible, dice Spartan, en serio, horrible, te ha parecido horrible. Por poner ese juego como una cosa más creando expectación, ha sido cruel. ¿A cuál te refieres, Spartan? El del final tenía buena pinta, el del Serial Cleaner. A ver, ese es... O sea, lo que han anunciado es la segunda parte del juego. Esta vez de los 90. Sí, porque el juego es de 2017, Serial Cleaner es de 2017. De 14 de julio de 2017, así que sí, he entendido bien. Lo que han anunciado es como la segunda parte, esta vez de los 90. Entiendo, ¿no? Entiendo que van los tiros por ahí. Yo tenía esperanzas del Bloodborne, dice Flavius. Yo también, pero bueno, lo único bueno del día el Persona 4, dice Spartan. Sí, y eso ya lo sabíamos, o por lo menos el rumor tenía mucho peso y al final ha sido así. Lo que no es o sea, el Persona 4 Royal, o sea, perdón, Persona 4 Golden sí, y de hecho sí, se ha anunciado y está disponible en Steam y ya lo podéis pillar, y además solo 20 euros, pero una parte de ese rumor, que es lo único que no se ha cumplido, decía que junto al Persona 4 iba también a estar el Persona 3. Esa parte del rumor no ha estado, pero... a mí me ha gustado. Que Flipa dice Yudaol, Squallfirot dice que yo sepa exclusivos de PS5 solo son el Horizon, el Demon's Souls, el Ratchet, el Gran Turismo y el Returnal, o sea, los first party, ¿no? Spartan, el último de este evento. Al último de este evento. ¿Al último de este evento es el que te parece horrible? Sí. ¿Cuál ha sido el último? No, ¿vale? ¿Cuál ha sido el último de este evento? ¿El último que se han quedado hablando? ¿El Kena? ¿Te parece horrible? ¿El Kena? No. Ah, no. El Serial Cleaner 2 ¿te parece horrible? ¿Es ese al que te refieres? ¿Es al que te refieres? A ver... Drain One dice, lo del final tenía buena pinta, pero vaya, veis... El Spider-Man no va a ser exclusivo. Sí, la segunda parte sí también, perdón. Ni Bloodborne ni Silksong. Qué mal vida. Vaya hombre. Vaya hombre. Realader Joan. Vaya hombre. F por el Bloodborne en el PC. Sí. Hubiera molado, Hubiera molado. Bueno, queda... Iba a decir, queda el Demon's Souls. Ojalá el Demon's Souls no sea exclusivo o no lo sea mucho tiempo. Yo, a ver, imagino que será exclusivo y por lo menos, mínimo un año, pero por lo menos, no sé, ojalá. Yo por pedir. Y el Bloodborne, bueno, el rumor dice que le quedarían 10 meses. A lo mejor se lo guarda Sony para más adelante. Porque la intención es más o menos... O sea, se hace un remaster de él. La intención que tiene con Bloodborne, y que por lo menos ha parecido que tiene con Spider-Man, y por lo menos ha parecido que es lo de Demon's Souls, estos juegos iban en la anterior generación. Bueno, Demon's Souls no. Pero, ¿para qué quieres retrocompatibilidad si te lo puedo vender de nuevo en un remaster? No lo sé. De esto ya digo que hablaremos largo y tendido el lunes, No os preocupéis que el lunes hablaremos de esto, de lo del Spider-Man y estas mierdas. Para mí lo de Torchlight 3, sí, para Drama Co-op, eso lo hemos visto en la de PC Gaming Show. Spartan, no horrible el juego en sí, sino ponerlo el último como una gran sorpresa. Spartan, bueno. Entro al Discord, si me voy ya, Nacho, no entres porque no estoy. Me voy yo, corto sobre las 12:30, si corto y me voy. Guárdatelo para el lunes que vamos a hablar bien hablado. Gano, que no anunció nada de Hollow Simpson, es para ellos siempre, claro. Es de Sony, ha sido una mera conferencia o solo soy yo, dice Dr. Jackie Illa. Me ha parecido, se me ha hecho más amena esta hora y media que la de PC Gaming Show. Escargo, bueno, nos queda desde la Xbox, que Dios nos ha confesado, y tampoco tenemos fecha para el Horizon en PC, dice Spartan. Sí, hombre, este verano. Y el Mafia 1 se ve bien guapo, sí. Bueno, pues nada, ya os he leído a todos. Hasta aquí este Future Game Show. Este evento que hacía Future US, que es la empresa matriz de GamesRadar y de revistas del sector. Me ha parecido bastante ameno. Me ha gustado, la verdad, me ha gustado. Me ha parecido un poco tordo, igual porque han mostrado muchos juegos en PC Gaming Show, pero no ha estado mal. Así que, nada, yo me piro y nos vemos el lunes a las 17:30 y Full HP, pero a las 17 EA va a mostrar bueno, lo que era el Project Maverick, un juego de naves de Star Wars. Lo presenta a las 5, no sé si media hora antes de la habitual del programa. No sé si conectaremos y lo veremos en directo y luego una vez visto empezamos con el programa. No lo sé. Yo a las 5 estaría pendiente por aquí. Yo vería eSport Maníacos el lunes, luego me quedaría un rato con Juste y a las 5 veremos este vídeo de Star Wars y luego a lo mejor empezamos en cuanto termine, así que no os sorprendáis, ¿vale? Así que más o menos el lunes sobre las 5 estad por aquí. Así que venga, buen lo que queda de finde y nos vemos el lunes. Hasta luego.